Okay, Ginza here with another review, and this time it is another Cinemachines from Neca, and it is the Space Jockey from Alien, which is kind of weird because it's not a vehicle, and so far all the Cinemachines, well, they were vehicles, but I'm not complaining about that. I actually think the Space Jockey is actually really cool. If you didn't get this, they also make a Space Jockey, like a Mini-Mates version, if you collect Mini-Mates. I collect Mini-Mates, I love Mini-Mates. But if not, if you wanted a much more realistic, highly detailed version of the Space Jockey, then here you go. This is it. I know it's a little hard to tell with the glare there. And on the back, of course, you have this, these specifications, and then of course the other Cinemachines in the line. Really want that dropship, but cannot find it. Let's see here. It says data file, fossilized Space Jockey, origin discovered in 2122 in the wreckage of an unidentified alien spacecraft on LV-426, species unknown, age impossible to measure due to advanced fossilization, function pilot. How did they know that? If you couldn't figure all that other stuff out, how would you know that's a pilot's chair? If anything, that just seems like it's some sort of telescope. But yeah, I don't know. Additional notes. Fused to a podium-like chair, massive damage to thorax, and presence of viable eggs suggest end stage of xenomorph XX121 incubation. So, the funny thing is, you know, in Prometheus, right? One of those engineers, which is what the Space Jockey is, he gets pregnant because, you know, that's what happens. Spring break. No, so he gets you know, like impregnated by that gigantic trilobite face hugger thing, and then the deacon comes out of that particular Space Jockey. So then on LV-426, that means that a deacon xenomorph had to have come out of that one as well. I wonder whatever happened to that one. Like, is it still on the planet? Was it so long that it just died eventually? I mean, xenomorphs don't, well, I guess they eat, but I mean, that planet was like empty, right? So it had like nothing for who knows how long. It could be centuries, or, you know, I mean, if this thing was fossilized. So maybe it just starved to death. And then I wonder if you'd find its bones somewhere, or its carcass, or something like that. I bet if they did, you could study it and maybe learn a little bit more, because it seems like trying to capture a live xeno to study comes with its own little set of dangers. Anyways, so I think it's actually cool that they made this, even though it's not a vehicle. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a closer look. Okay, here it is out of the package, and unlike the derelict ship, which came with a flight stand, this has no stand, no accessories, no nothing, although I guess I wouldn't really expect it to come with anything. Although I suppose maybe it would have been nice if it came with really tiny little figures of the crew to put around here. Which I think in the movie Ridley Scott used like his kids or something like that, just so to make the thing look even bigger. So that's actually kind of funny. Now it is a fairly decent size. I mean, if you want, here is a Funko Pop for a size comparison. So it's about It's about that big, which is a pretty decent size, and it is also fairly heavy. It's got some weight to it. Feel a lot of the weight here in the base. So make it really awesome, but maybe extravagant paperweight. It is, of course, beautiful. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you could still say that it's pretty small, but at the same time, it still has a lot of detail and a lot of really nice paint work. Here you can see, even though the Space Jockey himself is small, they still managed to work out the hole in the damage and those weird helmets. This thing was so creepy the first time I saw Alien. And the funny thing to me was that the crew, they look at the thing and they're all like, oh wow, like what is this, blah blah, and then they immediately get distracted by like, hey, check it out, eggs, like meaty eggs, and then they leave us alone. Like, how is this not blowing your mind? It's a gigantic sized humanoid creature. I mean, I feel like if Kane was just like, oh man, look, I found all these eggs, I'd be like, oh dude, who the hell cares? Look at this gigantic man. Like, maybe we should focus on that. Do you think these giant men grow from those little eggs? Like, that's what I would be concerned with. I don't think I would have cared as much for the eggs as the crew did. They seem so casual about this, as if they've seen a whole bunch of these. Like, yeah, it's space. You know, what are you gonna do? There's aliens out there. It's, you know, just part of the job. No idea what all that is. Like, what are these little bumps? What do they do? How does this help you fly a ship? If this is indeed the pilot chair. It seems like this would be really comfy. I bet you there's got to be someone out there that's made some sort of custom Space Jockey recliner. Although God only knows what all this stuff is. And everything's got to have a vagina in it, and well, Geiger's just a weird guy. Oh, you can kind of see what he sees. So yeah, it's just really, really cool. So I'm definitely glad Neca decided to go ahead and make this again, even though it's not a vehicle per se. Now ordinarily these Cinemachines, they cost about $20. And then I guess it's like, well, do you want to pay $20 for like a statue? You know, I mean, you could say like, well, the figures are $20, and aren't they kind of statues? For me, yeah, because I put them in one pose and then I never moved them ever again for like, I guess the rest of my life. So the fact that, you know, you can't move this isn't all that big a deal. Although I suppose if you could, like, if there was a hinge here or something that would let you move this thing up and down, that would be really really cool too, but I don't think it's all that big of a deal. It does look really nice, and I don't know if you can really tell. All this, like, it's black, but then it also has kind of this like sheen to it. Like, it almost looks kind of like a really dark brass. So it looks nicer, I mean, to me, than I think than it'll probably show up in the video. So yeah, for $20, I would definitely recommend this. Especially, I mean, if you're an Aliens fan, then yeah, I feel like all of us Alien fans feel kind of compelled to get everything of Aliens, you know. But maybe you weren't, you know, maybe you're kind of thinking, Cinemachines, that's neat, whatever. But you just weren't. It wasn't on your radar, and that's what happened to me. I mean, they announced it, and I was like, that's cool, but I didn't really think about it. And then now here I am, like, I really want that dropship. I can't find that dropship. But at least I did get the derelict ship, and I am very glad that I got the Space Jockey. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that. And then if you can maybe make like some diorama or something like that, if you're talented and in that way, then you can probably have like a really, really cool little display instead of just having just, you know, a statue singular. Because I doubt Neca's ever going to make like some gigantic like Space Jockey that's to scale with their figures, though that would be amazing. But that would probably cost like $100. This is $20. So yeah, I definitely recommend this if you can still happen to find it, or, you know, of course you can order it online. People do that. Who knows? Maybe it's even cheaper now. Although that seems with NECA, that's not really how it works. Things seem to get more expensive. But either way, I think it's really, really cool. So I'm glad that they made this, and I'm glad that I managed to get my hands on one. So it's definitely recommended. Anyways, until next time, take care.